Sportageous. Sport gets smarter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sportageous Videocast. Today, I have a former professional athlete with me, Amjad Javed, who was a right-handed batsman and right-arm medium pace bowler for the United Arab Emirates, one of the associate nation cricketing countries, and he played 15 ODIs and 22 T20 internationals. So welcome to the show, Amjad.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Hashim.
Look, I wanted to start off with, this famous partnership innings of yours that you played at the 2015 World Cup, which I think was the record partnership for a pair batting at number 7 when you scored 107 runs with Shayman Anwar against Ireland. Tell me a little bit about that. What was that experience like, and how do you remember that innings yourself today?
Yeah, I think if that's sort of an inning in a biggest event of cricket, and which you always dream as a child, and you get an opportunity to play in that tournament, and then you are in a situation where your team starts well, and then fall some wickets, and then you get in a situation where you have to give a suitable total to opponent. So when I went in, I was pretty much positive that I know that Shaiman is there, and if I give him some stand, if we both stand there, then we can go build some partnership initially, and then we, both of us were like a big hitter of cricket ball when we settle in between. So our plan was simple: just stay there on the wicket, and wicket was very flat, not doing much, and we started well. We built the partnership, and then later on, Shaiman went and he scored 100, and I scored, I think, 40 odd runs, which was very crucial at that stage. So we both played well, and that was like we gave a good total on board for Ireland to chase it down. So it was it was one of the best. I think I can say that I played one of my best innings in that World Cup for UAE.
Sure. And would you then say that was probably the highlight of your career?
Yeah, it was. You can say one of the innings which I will remember when I recall my memories. This is one of the innings. Yes, you can say that.
Sure. Were there any others that perhaps you'd like to share that come to mind?
The inning before that, I think I played against Kenya in a World Cup qualifier in New Zealand, where again we were struggling to score some quick runs. So I went in and I scored 70 odd runs, and then took three wickets. 3 wickets, and I was the man of the match of that match. And then from there, we beat Kenya, and we got that ODI status and the qualification for the World Cup. So yeah, that was I think for me and for UAE at that time, it was the crucial inning. I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be able to be a part of that historic moment is something in itself, without a doubt. Look, I wanted to ask you a little bit about being at the crossroads of UAE cricket, like you just mentioned. Before ODI status to after ODI status, and the ICC obviously made the UAE headquarters while you were playing the game, and it wasn't necessarily the case when you started off. So how much has UAE cricket changed from when you started playing to when you obviously retired a couple of years ago?
It's always crucial, when as an associate country where you grow up and you don't have those facilities, to compete with the top teams. So when I started, we just have a Shala Cricket Stadium, and we used to come there. It was very difficult at that time, when I started, like I was 19, and in 1999, my father used to drop me there, and it was very tough, driving from Dubai to Sharjah. As you have stayed there, you have seen
Yeah.
traffic while going towards Sharjah. So it was always, my father used to drop me, and then when he used to come back, so he was like, I feel that I am tired, but my father was, used to tired more than me, So I was always thinking, like, if one day I play for UAE in any big event, so I will definitely, I would thank my father, who used to bring me and take me back. So then with that Sharjah Stadium, and we are getting we got some crucial tournaments which we played in Dubai and overseas, and that gave some confidence to other countries to visit UAE, and then came ICC with their headquarters, and uh, as Emirates Airline, they supported the cricket very well in Dubai. They built two grounds in when they started with. They built two grounds, and same ground was used by UAE Cricket, UAE board to organize some matches, and that was like just a start from Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Then Emirates came in, and then ICC joined them, and we got Dubai Sports City, Abu Dhabi Cricket Stadium, and some more grounds in the sevens. So that's how I think that's how we grow up, grow cricket very well in Dubai, and ICC supported that the structure which UAE Cricket started, and ICC came in and gave us some more tournaments at home, and as we were having some good quality grounds, we invited some county clubs. They came and they started doing their preseason workout here, and we used to get that opportunity to play against them. So that's how playing against the big teams and big clubs gave the confidence to the players. Obviously, our players usually come from Pakistan, India mostly, and back home they get that environment, but not in Dubai. They come to Dubai and they somehow they lose that confidence of playing against big people, big boys. So once we started, getting these county clubs coming and doing their preseason work in Dubai, in UAE, and we got the opportunity to play against them, and then that from there the confidence came back in UAE cricket that yeah, we can compete against big teams in any big event. So I think yeah, ICC played a big part in developing the game in UAE. So we should thank yeah ICC, and there were some other supportive members like Emirates Airline, I should say, because after Sharjah Cricket Stadium, I haven't seen any quality grounds in UAE. So we got Emirates Airline supporting and building two grounds, and then Dubai Sports City, Abu Dhabi Stadium, which just followed that chain.
Sure. And do you think that, in a way, the fact that the Pakistan cricket team, because they called the UAE their home ground for such a long period of time, did that enable Emirates cricket and UAE cricket to sort of gain more access to cricketing knowledge, coaching, having had those ties, having had coaches of the team coming from Pakistan? When Pakistan had to move their home ground to the UAE, do you think that also benefited UAE cricket, or was that not really the case?
Yeah, definitely. It was bad for Pakistan at that time, but it was it was good for UAE. In a club which I was representing in Dubai, I was having 9 international cricketers, and from that 9, all was from Pakistan, and 7 was Test cricketers. It was Abdul Razak, Imran Nazir, Kamran Akmal, Umar Akmal, Sarfaraz Ahmed. I'll tell you a story. When Sarfaraz came and joined us, he was out of Pakistan cricket team at that time, and then the whole season which we played, it was, I think he should thank UAE Cricket that, by representing the domestic matches in Dubai, and he got some exposure and the innings, and it was good that Akib Javed at that time, Akib Javed was the coach of UAE cricket team, and uh, because of him, he used to call all the players who were out of Pakistan team. He used to call them and tell them to come and join the training session. So he kept all of these players busy in with the UAE team, and on the other hand side, UAE was getting benefit out of it. Training with them, playing a domestic game with them. It was you you raise your game. When you are representing a team who is having 9 international cricketers, and you are just representing UAE, and you see them, the body language change. Totally the body language change. And at that time, 2013-14, UAE were having like UAE was the hub of organizing some top quality events at that time. Domestic was very good. Uh, like if we were having 4 teams, all 4 teams were having all international players. The UAE guys would, it was very difficult for the UAE main players to get a chance to play a domestic match, because the team which they were representing, they have 10 to 11 international cricketers. So
Right.
it was in a sense, it was great for UAE, but it was great for PCB also. Akib Javed was called by PCB to give the feedback on their players those who are playing in domestic cricket. So, yeah, we should. Yeah, personally in my team, I was the only one from UAE to represent in my club, and I was having with me. I was having all international cricketers from Pakistan playing, and I was the only one member from UAE team playing in that team. So it's always good playing again. Playing with Abdul Razak, Kamran Akmal, Imran Nazir, Anwar Ali, Sarfaraz Ahmed, and you're playing against some quality spinners. Yasir Shah, he got picked because of the performance he showed in the domestic games in Dubai. Afridi was playing in one of the opponent team. We played against him, so Afridi was playing against them. You name the big players of Pakistan, they all were busy in Dubai at that time. So it was I must say that it was the best time for UAE cricket to blossom in that time period, which this international player gave us.
Absolutely. I think that's it's fantastic, and the close vicinity, and it just so happened that the PCB couldn't hold games there, and the players getting the opportunity to sort of interact. On the note of domestic cricket in the UAE, internationally, so with me sitting here in Australia, for example, I don't know much about the domestic structure there. I don't think that a lot of people do. From what a lot of people outside of the UAE understand, it's other teams that come in and play games at the stadiums, and then the UAE national team. So could you tell me a little bit about the domestic structure, and what sort of opportunities the players have, or is it still growing and developing?
No, it's still growing and developing. It was very good when Akib Javed was there. He was helping them to develop a structure which will help UAE for a longer period. He used to visit the academies. He used to go and do the talent hunting programs for for all the age groups. So that time it was going very well. But once when he left, I think it was a wrong time when he left the team and UAE. If he would have stayed there for at least 2 more years, we would have a different different story in UAE. At the moment, the structure which he thought that it will help UAE to give continuous talented players to for the UAE team, it stopped now. Uh, the domestic structure which which helps the players physically, mentally, and financially. It's stopped now. It's not that one which we played in you can say 14, 15, and 16 onwards. This 3 years were very good. The structure was going well. The structure was building, and players were coming. Financial support was there from the team owners and everything, and the tournament was very good. But now I think it's I can't say that it's totally stopped. It's slowed down. But now it's growing up with the new management and the board. I think they keep on bringing some qualified peoples, and they are trying to improve the structure. They are trying to uh, bring some quality players and organize some good tournaments, which will help UAE again to grow and the structure. If as you know, you have grown here. We hardly had any domestic match telecast on TV. It's always football as the priority for UAE. But that's how if once any matches gets on TV, it will help them grow faster. Now with some tournaments, they are doing some live on Facebook or some YouTube channels. They have started doing that. But once you start telecasting on the local channels, free to air channels where you telecast football just once in a month, it will help them grow faster, because the population here is more of an Asian rather than the locals. So it will help them to grow faster. People sitting at home on Friday or visiting the beach, they'll see a match on, it's happening on TV. They will sit and they'll definitely watch, because mostly the players are from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So, there will be some people, some cricket fans, they will sit and they'll watch. Uh, when we have match in Sharjah Stadium, the half of the stadium is full because of Asian people. They love. They don't see that this is just a domestic match. They come and they support cricket here. So once we take it to another level, definitely players will again get that what we see in international matches, we'll see in domestic as well. Because UAE, in UAE you have everything. The only thing is when you bring that minds, you change the mindset of people, you will change everything. That will change the sports also. If you don't telecast any live game on TV, you can't get the people out from their rooms, come and watch the game live. We were having a match against Nepal. Nepal playing in UAE. UAE had hardly having any people supporting them. The whole stadium was filled with Nepalis. So it's you feel doesn't feel good, but that's how it works in UAE. So you have to change the mindset. You have to bring some other, like Pakistani, Indians, Sri Lankans, to come out and support UAE players. So if you telecast some matches, that will change definitely.
Sure, sure. And it's a really interesting point you raise, because as you've said, the vast majority of the players that have played for the UAE have been from South Asia, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, and the likes. There have been a couple of players who were Emiratis or locals of the UAE who have represented the UAE national team. What do you think is the best way for the sport to grow within the Emirati community, and for them to also take an interest in the sport? And at the same time, do you think this is happening, or is it just not in the mindset of the Emirati population that cricket is a sport that we can watch and appreciate?
No, definitely. Definitely in UAE, all Emiratis, they know what is cricket. After football, they know what is cricket. And but what I think, we haven't taken a proper positive step towards capturing that market. We haven't taken anyone if you don't have any national cricketers in your coaching staff or in your like international player, the captain player represented UAE in 2015 World Cup. Now he's no more. We hardly see him in any development program. So we should have a group of people, uh, the people those who have represented UAE in some big event, because that's how the people recognize you when you see when they see you on TV, when they see you in in a big event like World Cup, that this captain is UAE national, this player is from Pakistan but he is representing UAE, this is Khurram Khan, this is Tokir, this is Amjad Javed. So that's how they recognize you by face, and that's how you can market them. But I haven't seen that strategy yet, but maybe the new management which has come up now, they might be having that. So I believe that if they have that strategy in their mind, this will definitely work. So, when you have international people, those who have represented UAE in international events like World Cup, they can capture the market easily rather than you're bringing people from abroad. Let's say you bring someone from England, and the guys, they haven't seen him, so they will listen him, but that attraction won't be there. If you take Amjad Javed to a school, definitely 100 students, there'll be 50 guys knowing me. But if you take someone else, they definitely, maybe 5 guys will come and they will just listen to him, but the attraction won't be there. So they have to build some strategy like that to bring some cricketers, those who have represented UAE in their supporting staff role or developing in their developing plan. They have to involve, but I haven't seen any ex-cricketer getting involved in this sort of thing. So I think they have to work. I would request UAE board to work really well on that department as well, to capture some ex-cricketers, develop them, and then send them getting this market. So definitely they will.
Sure. And it's really fascinating that you bring that up, because when we talk about sports in general, money is everything. If you have the money, if you're able to generate the revenue, if you're able to bring in money, you can develop the facilities, you can improve the standard of the players, provide them with the best coaches, the best support staff, that sort of thing. While playing for the UAE, you obviously worked throughout your career in a job, full-time job with Emirates Airlines. Was it easy? Was this something that you had to do because you did not have a choice, because Emirates Cricket could not obviously perhaps afford to give you a salary that would help you sustain yourself? Or was this just something you did on top of playing cricket? And is this generally the case with all the cricketers? And is it still the case right now? I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when I started at that time, there was no contract given to any UAE cricketers. Mm-hmm. So it was just before the tournament they will give you a daily allowance of representing UAE, and the guys will they will get that allowance once they are abroad in any tournament. The first day or the second day they will give them the allowance, and that allowance was not even covering their meal at that time. But since the things improved and they start winning some tournaments and the ranking was improved, that changed. And when I represented UAE at that time, we were winning some tournaments, and regularly we were in better rankings. But in UAE, as you have been here, like it's always difficult if you are a professional cricketer and you get injured. That's the end of your career. If you are not doing any work apart from cricket, it's very difficult to maintain in UAE or survive in UAE. So, but I was lucky. I would say that, like when I represented UAE in under 19 in 1999, and soon after that, 2001, I got the job in Emirates Airline. And after that, I was selected for the senior team. So it was always, and the best thing with me was from Emirates Airline, there were 6 guys representing UAE before me. So it was really a good guidance from them. And by seeing them, I always by seeing them, I always used to take the decision. And Emirates Airline, to be very honest, till today, I'm still working with Emirates Airline as a cargo load master. I fly with them on the cargo freighters. And till today, they support us well. They support us well. Maurice Flanagan at that time, uh, he used to give us special leave to represent UAE. So that was enough for us. Like we were getting a salary, and then on the other hand, board was not giving us that much, which which was enough for a cricketer to survive. But Emirates was supporting us. So all the players from Emirates Airline representing UAE, they were happy. They were like, if your boss is giving you salary plus leave to play international cricket, what else you need? And that's how I would appreciate Emirates. That was the biggest reason for me to play for UAE almost like 18-20 years. And but at the moment, the guys are getting contracts from last that was introduced by Amjad Javed. Once we played the World Cup, after the World Cup, Amjad Javed brought this thing that we'll bring a contract system, and we'll shortlist 20 players or 18 players, and then we'll give them a contract according to their grading. So that's when they started. And after that, when Akib left, we did well. We did retain our ODI status, but we couldn't qualify for T20 World Cup or again the T20 World Cup. We couldn't qualify, and we lost some matches against Hong Kong, Nepal, USA, team like the lower ranking team. We lost, and that was losing against them at home. So that was not some things are not going in UAE's favor at that time, but still at the moment the guys are having contract. The amount is not big, but the cricketers are getting contract, and they are working on that. And maybe once the cricket start again, and they compete in some big tournaments and improve their ranking, they will definitely get some more money. Once you win big tournaments, that definitely you will get money, and then once you get the board get money, they'll definitely give it to the players and make them happy.
Sure, absolutely. And how about with sponsorship opportunities? Has there anything of that sort ever been around? Perhaps with the start of more and more T10 cricket taking place in the UAE, are there organizations that do sponsor individual players, or through sponsorships, advertisements, or anything of that sort that would enable cricketers or UAE cricketers to make more of an income?
No, I think that's where when you have a good media team around you, marketing team around you, which will help player to get some financial help through this advertisement and sponsorship. That I haven't seen till today. I haven't seen that. The players do everything on their own. Hardly we get that big contracts where you can survive on that also. If you get injured, you have that contract, and you can survive on that. But I haven't seen that in Dubai happening. That maybe in future we might see that. But as the big events are starting, getting in Dubai, in UAE, like T10, the first T10 tournament, I was part of Pakhtun, and that was good. I haven't played any game, but representing Pakhtun, being with the big players like Shahid Afridi was the captain of that tournament for Pakhtun. So being with them, going in the same team bus, seeing the organizers, how they're organizing the things. I think what I believe, UAE should really, when any big tournaments happening in UAE should have some uh, they can easily make a team who can be with those organizers and the managers and learn how they are dealing with the sponsors, how they are managing the cricketers. So then they can bring all those their experience in UAE and help the UAE cricketers to get those sort of sponsorship. Yeah, initially you won't get sponsorship deals for all your 20 players, but start with some 5 players, 10 players, and that's how the ball. But once you start rolling the ball, it will definitely there'll be effect, and you if you are winning more games, they will get more players included in that included in that sponsorship deals. But at the moment, hardly we get the players are looking for this sort of sponsorship by themselves. But it's not a big group. UAE players are not a big group. There should be a proper team representing UAE players to get some good sponsorship deals. Yeah, we are like as you have stayed in UAE. There are so many big companies in UAE. They can easily give sponsorship deals to players by putting their logo on the bat or on the shirt, or going and doing some photo shoot for them. Easily they can calling models. They can call these cricketers, and uh, both sides can get benefit out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it would be essentially a game changer if sponsorships are available to athletes and cricketers from associate nations, and with the sort of access that the UAE has. Let's hope that in the future, that's potentially a thing that can happen. I believe you've already sort of touched on this, but are you involved in cricket in any shape or form nowadays?
Last year I did my level 2 coaching from Pakistan. So at the moment I'm level 2 coach, and I'm trying to get involved if the board asks me to get involved in some sort of coaching role. But when I don't see my ex cricketers, those who are those who retired before me and they are qualified, they are representing, they are giving their services to academies. Uh, if they are not called, then I don't think that the board will be serious for me. So I think, yeah, maybe a new CEO, maybe he might be having a different mindset. He might be having some sort of plan. I have approached them, but so far I haven't got any positive result yet. But as a Muslim, yeah, I'm always positive, and I think that once they required my service, I'll be always ready, because UAE have given me so much. Today, if internationally I am known, Amjad Javed is known. I am known by by representing UAE. So I'm always there to help them. And yeah, and for my knowledge, I'm always learning, and it's always good to be prepared when you are called. So level 2, I'm always I've done my level 2 and will be waiting for my level 3. And if if they want my service, I'm always there.
Sure, sure. And just to sort of conclude things, Amjad, could you tell me how you would like to see Emirates cricket and UAE cricket in the future? And of course, considering when cricket is back on 5, 10 years down the line, what do you hope to see for the cricket and the nation that you represented for such a long time?
To be very honest, I'll tell you, when we played against Afghanistan, they were affiliated members at that time. And by seeing them in few years, they grow so much. They got so much support from BCCI and ICC. But the players, they gave their heart out for that country, and they played some good games. They never give up any losing games. Also, they were fighting like anything. Same thing I would see from UAE. At the moment, I can't see any fighting spirit in the team. Recently, we have some issues with some players. They were involved in match fixing. So that is sort of a thing when the team is growing and you got some good cricketers, those who have represent and they have experience behind them, and then they get involved in this sort of activities, illegal activities uh, that bring you back 5 to 10 years. So in next 5 years, I would say I want to see UAE in that top 16 ranking of ICC, continuously playing some ODIs game, continuously representing, uh, getting represented in big tournaments like 50 overs World Cup and T20 World Cup. And in T20, we can do far better than 50 overs. But to get recognized like Ireland and Afghanistan, we have to, do better in the longer version. And in next 5 years, I would say I should see UAE to be playing more 4-day games and winning those 4-day games. That will improve the quality, and the players will be having, once the cricketers change their mindset from T20 to a longer version, that's how you can improve their, that's how you can improve them as a cricketer. Uh, Once they have the confidence of playing longer innings, that's how you build build a team. Now playing 20 balls, 40 runs in one game, you don't score in next 4 games, and then you come up and score again 40 runs. Uh, that's not improving. Maybe that's improve your stats, but that won't improve UA cricket as general. So as general, definitely we have to think longer version, 50 overs and 4-day games more, and playing against some tough opponents, not just playing against some weaker teams and defeating them, and then uh, telling the media that we have defeated this team. So it doesn't make sense. And I would see UAE, getting out from their home and playing some matches in, especially in South Africa, not on Asian turfs, because yeah, we are in UAE. You will find all the wickets same like Asian wickets. So I would say, like, if you want to improve your cricket, take UAE team to South Africa, where the quality is better, and you will get some tough opponents. Take it to Australia, you will get some good clubs, and they can give you, run for your money. And as we had a preparation camp in before the World Cup in Perth. We were there for 50 days and played some 10 ODIs, like 50 over matches, and did our all fitness stuff there. So that's how you get prepared for your big event. So I think they should be having that thing in their mind, that definitely the new CEO and now newly appointed Robin Singh as a head coach. He both are, like, Robin Singh is an experienced guy, and he definitely will be having some sort of plans in his mind how to improve UAE cricket by seeing the talent is not homegrown talent. It's always coming from Asian countries. So he definitely will be having some plans, and once you have and the under 19 and under 16 team, once you have those cricketers grown in UAE, that will give you continuously good talent for your main team as well. So you have to groom that. And Akib Javed, to be very honest, Akib Javed was doing that very well since Robin Singh joined, and then we had this Corona thing. I haven't seen him, but definitely he will be with the same mentality of Akib. If you want to grow cricket and bring it to some top level, you have to grow some homegrown cricketers also. You have to bring some youngsters, in the senior team, and give them some exposure. So that's how you increase, winning percentage, and the dependency of getting Asian cricketers from Pakistan, India, and Sri Lanka will reduce by doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there you have it, everyone. I think the more cricket there is, the more the growth of cricket there is in the UAE, the better it is for cricket fans and sports all around the world. And I'd like to thank you once again, Amjad, for being on the show. It was an absolute pleasure and really fascinating to get your insights into UAE cricket and Associate Nation cricket. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Ishan. Thanks, Ishan, for having me here. And yeah, it was a lovely show, and I really enjoyed.